It's 1987. You're 22 years old, sitting in the cab of a Peterbilt 359 somewhere in the Nevada desert. It's 3 a.m. The radio's playing Waylon Jennings. You've got 44,000 pounds of steel coil on your flatbed, a full tank of diesel, and your right hand on the most complex gear shift in the world, an 18-speed Eaton Fuller Roadranger. 2 levers, a range selector, a splitter button on the gear shift knob, 18 forward gears and 4 reverse, and no computer to bail you out. To the outsider, it looked like chaos, but to a veteran driver, that stick was an instrument. Mastering it was a badge of honor. It meant you were a real trucker. Fast forward to today. Walk into the cab of a brand new Freightliner Cascadia at a Schneider terminal. There's no clutch pedal, there's no gear stick. There's just a little joystick selector on the dash that says PRND. It looks like a rental car. And here's the thing. 94% of new Freightliner Cascadias leave the factory that way. Schneider's entire fleet, one of the biggest in America, is now 100% automated. No clutch, no manual shifts. The 18-speed is, for all practical purposes, dead in mainstream commercial trucking. So what happened? Was this progress? Or did the industry just rip the soul out of the American truck driver? Let's get into it. What made the 18-speed a legend? To understand why this shift is such a big deal, you first need to understand what the 18-speed actually was and what it meant to the people who drove it. The story starts in 1963. That year, Eaton Corporation introduced the Fuller Roadranger transmission. It used a twin countershaft design and an air-operated range shift, a genuinely revolutionary piece of engineering for its time. It could handle far more torque than anything before it, while using thinner, lighter gears. And it gave drivers something they'd never had before: total, precise control over a massive machine. By the time the 18-speed version arrived, the RTLO 18918 for the gearheads in the comments, it was spec'd with up to 2,250 lb-ft of torque capacity. It had 18 forward gears and 4 reverse. The total gear reduction ratio was 19.7.1, meaning it could crawl up the steepest mountain grade or cruise the interstate at a fuel-sipping 0.73 overdrive. But here's what most people don't realize. Driving it wasn't like driving a regular stick shift. This wasn't just pop the clutch and drop a gear. The 18-speed used a double H shift pattern, a range selector that toggled between low and high range, and a splitter button on the shifter knob that split each gear into a high and low half. So your shift pattern looked like 2 H patterns stacked on top of each other, with an air-actuated split at every position. To use it correctly, you had to double clutch, dipping the clutch, letting the RPMs float to the right spot, then engaging again, without grinding anything. On a loaded rig going uphill, timing a split shift wrong could bog the engine, stall the truck, or roll backward on a grade. That's not just embarrassing. With 80,000 pounds, it's genuinely dangerous. This is why, for decades, the ability to drive an 18-speed was a professional credential. Trucking schools taught it for weeks. Old-timers would test new hires on their shifting before they trusted them with a load. There were drivers who could float gears, shift without even using the clutch, and they wore that like a medal. The Eaton Fuller became the gold standard. For 40-plus years, it dominated Class 8 truck transmissions across North America. Kenworth, Peterbilt, Freightliner, International, they all shipped with Roadranger transmissions as the default option. The 18-speed wasn't just a component, it was the identity of the American truck driver. So if it was that good, why is it disappearing? The short answer: money. And 3 very specific kinds of money: fuel costs, maintenance costs, and labor costs. Let's start with fuel, because this is where the math gets brutal for the manual. Fuel is the single biggest operating expense in trucking. Depending on the fleet, it eats 50 to 65% of total operating costs. So a fraction of a percent improvement in fuel economy across hundreds or thousands of trucks adds up to millions of dollars a year. Here's what the data showed. AMTs, Automated manual transmissions save between 2% and 8% on fuel compared to a human-operated manual. A 2015 Frost & Sullivan study confirmed AMTs can deliver up to 8% better fuel economy than manual transmissions. Why? Because a computer doesn't have a bad day. It doesn't get tired at mile 600 and start shifting a little late. It doesn't over-rev the engine on an uphill. It reads dozens of inputs: vehicle speed, engine load, road grade, even GPS data in modern trucks, and picks the perfect shift point every single time. A human driver, even a great one, simply cannot match that consistency across an 11-hour shift. For a fleet running 500 trucks, each averaging 100,000 miles a year at 6 miles per gallon, a 3% fuel savings translates to roughly $3 million annually in diesel costs alone. Every year. That's not a rounding error. That's a reason to replace your entire fleet spec. Then there's maintenance. Clutch replacements on a manual heavy-duty truck run between $500 and $1,500 each time, typically every 60,000 to 100,000 miles depending on driver skill. AMTs essentially eliminate that cost. There's no clutch pedal for a driver to ride or slip. Fleets were reporting significantly less damage and far fewer clutch replacements almost immediately after switching. Daimler Trucks North America noted that AMTs were already commanding a premium in the used truck market because of their lower wear profile. And then there's the third factor, arguably the biggest one right now, the driver shortage. The American trucking industry has been running a structural driver shortage for years. The average truck driver is in their mid to late 40s. Retirement is pulling experienced drivers out faster than the industry can replace them. And here's where the 18-speed became a liability instead of an asset. Training a new driver on an 18-speed manual takes weeks. It requires real skill development, real hours of practice, real mistakes on a big machine before you get comfortable. That's a barrier to entry. Fleets were losing candidates who wanted to drive a truck but couldn't get past the transmission. AMTs cut training time dramatically. Trainers can now focus on road awareness, load management, and regulations, not gear mechanics. As Rob Reich of Schneider put it when the company started donating AMT-equipped trucks to CDL schools, driver training time is significantly more efficient when using an automated manual transmission. And there's an equity angle here too. Schneider specifically cited women and younger adults as emerging driver pools that were being drawn in by AMT trucks. The physical demands of operating a manual, the leg strength for the clutch, the muscle memory of the shifting pattern created real barriers for some demographics. Removing the clutch removed those barriers. The business case became overwhelming. In 2012, Martin Daum, then CEO of Daimler Trucks North America, called it his personal mission to flip a market running 90% manual. Daimler invested $100 million to develop and manufacture the Detroit DT12 AMT. That's how serious they were. Section 3. The numbers don't lie. In 2005, over 95% of Class 8 trucks still rolled off the lot with manual transmissions. AMTs were a niche product, maybe 5 to 6% market share, mostly for buyers who specifically wanted them. By 2010, automatics had captured roughly 20 to 25% of the market. Early adopters, mostly big fleets, were seeing the fuel economy numbers and converting. Then came the surge. Between 2014 and 2017, AMT adoption jumped dramatically. By 2018-2019, major OEMs were reporting 75–80% AMT take rates on new builds. Today, Volvo reports 95 to 98% of its new trucks are specced with AMTs. Freightliner Cascadia, the best-selling Class 8 truck in America, is at 94% AMT, 5% manual, 1% fully automatic. Mack Trucks says about 94% of Anthem orders come with the M-Drive AMT. Kenworth's line-haul AMT builds jumped from 30% in 2013 to about 70% just 5 years later. Think about that arc, from 5% to 95% in roughly 15 years. That is one of the fastest technology transitions in the history of heavy industry. And the biggest fleets didn't just shift gradually. They made hard policy decisions. Schneider National, nearly 10,000 trucks, went 100% automated. Swift Transportation, May Trucking, Western Express, CR England, CRST, All of them converted most or all of their fleets to automated. These aren't mom-and-pop outfits running 3 trucks. These are companies with thousands of drivers making deliberate fleet-wide bans on the manual transmission. Volvo's own product chief summed it up bluntly. Manual transmissions will likely be dropped from all major OEM portfolios within 5 to 10 years as the industry moves toward cleaner powertrains that require deep integration between engine and transmission, something you simply cannot do with a manual. Section 4. What was lost? Here's where I'm going to say something the executives won't. Something real was lost when the manual died, and it goes beyond nostalgia. Freightwaves, in a deep dive on this transition, made an uncomfortable observation. The shift to automatics coincided with a broader decline in mechanical understanding among truck drivers. Fewer drivers today understand how the engine, transmission, and differential work together as integrated systems. The era of drivers who could change oil, identify a developing problem by sound, or perform basic roadside diagnostics is essentially over. When drivers operated manual transmissions, they were constantly engaged with the mechanical behavior of the truck. A strange vibration in the shifter, unexpected resistance in a gear, an RPM drop that didn't match the load. These were signals an experienced driver read and acted on. Drivers were a diagnostic layer. Now the truck just throws a fault code. The result, the Freightwaves piece noted, is an increase in equipment abuse, not because drivers are careless, but because reduced mechanical familiarity means they genuinely don't recognize when something is operating beyond its design limits. Maintenance dependence has increased. Roadside problem solving has declined. Drivers view trucks more as appliances than as machines they understand. And there's the CDL restriction issue that creates a real career ceiling. When you take your CDL test in an automatic truck, you get an automatic-only restriction on your license. You legally cannot drive a manual-equipped commercial vehicle. As major fleets go all automatic, that restriction becomes less relevant day to day. But if you ever want to drive for a smaller fleet, an owner-operator, or in a vocational role where manuals still exist, logging, oil fields, heavy-haul specialty work, you're locked out. The knowledge is disappearing fast. There are experienced drivers retiring every day who can float gears on an 18-speed in their sleep. And there are young drivers entering the industry who have never touched a clutch pedal and never will. Within a generation, the skill set may effectively vanish from mainstream commercial trucking. For many veterans, this isn't just about shifting gears. It's about the loss of what it meant to be a trucker. The physical mastery, the engagement, the expertise that separated a professional driver from someone who just steers. Automatic transmission critics in the early years complained that AMTs accelerated too slowly, didn't downshift aggressively enough on grades, couldn't handle certain mountain driving situations. Those complaints were largely addressed as the technology matured. But the emotional complaint, the sense that something was taken, that never fully went away. Where the 18-speed still lives. Now let's be clear, the manual transmission isn't extinct. It's been pushed to the margins, but the margins in trucking are substantial. The 18-speed's last stronghold is vocational and heavy haul work. Logging trucks in the Pacific Northwest, oil field service rigs in Texas and North Dakota, rock quarry and mining operations, ready-mix concrete. These are applications where you're running at very low speeds, very high torque, very unpredictable terrain, and where a skilled driver's ability to micromanage gear selection can genuinely outperform an algorithm. Eaton still manufactures and sells the 18-speed manual. The UltraShift Plus MXP, their automated version of the 18-speed platform, actually has no gross vehicle weight limitation and can handle up to 168,000 pounds on steep grades. But Eaton also still offers the fully manual RT18, and there's demand for it. Owner-operators often still prefer manual trucks. The independent driver who owns their equipment and plans to run it for 15 years has a different calculus than a mega carrier. Manual transmissions are cheaper upfront, historically $1,000 to $5,000 less than an AMT. They're mechanically simpler in some respects, and for an owner-operator who is the mechanic, that simplicity has value. And there's a used market reality. AMTs hold a premium value in the secondary market, which is good if you're selling, but it makes buying used AMT equipment more expensive. Some small fleets and owner-operators have found they can spec a manual, keep it longer, and come out ahead financially. The manual transmission will survive in these niches. But in mainstream long-haul, dry van, reefer, flatbed trucking, it's already essentially gone. The question isn't whether it disappears from OEM portfolios. According to Volvo's own projections, it's when. The reason the manual is truly not coming back isn't just business economics, it's physics and chemistry. The trucking industry is under enormous regulatory pressure to reduce emissions. EPA 2024 and beyond mandates require tighter integration between engines, transmissions, and after-treatment systems to optimize fuel burn and cut NOx. That integration requires electronic communication between components that a pure mechanical manual simply cannot facilitate.
As Eaton's Global Clutch Product Strategy Manager put it directly, this will require even more integration between the engine and transmission and how they work together to improve fuel economy. And that's something you can't do with a manual transmission.
Electric trucks add a whole new dimension. A battery electric commercial truck has no need for a transmission at all. Electric motors deliver full torque from 0 RPM. The entire debate becomes irrelevant, and even hydrogen fuel cell trucks, which may retain some mechanical complexity, are being designed from the ground up with integrated electronic powertrain management. The AMT isn't the final destination. It's the transition technology, the bridge between the manual age and the electric age. When Tesla Semi, Freightliner e-Cascadia, and Kenworth T680e trucks proliferate, the AMT will likely be seen as the last chapter of the mechanical transmission era. So here's where we land. The 18-speed Eaton Fuller Roadranger was one of the greatest pieces of mechanical engineering ever put into a commercial vehicle. It powered the American economy for decades. The men and women who mastered it were, by any definition, skilled professionals. And the culture that built up around it, the CB chatter about double clutching, the pride of the double H pattern, the whole mythos of the long-haul trucker with a hand on the stick, was real and meaningful. The fleet owners who banned the clutch weren't wrong. The math was unbeatable. Better fuel economy, lower maintenance, wider driver pool, safer roads. They were running businesses, not museums. But something was genuinely lost in that bargain. A layer of mechanical literacy, a piece of professional identity, a skill that, once a generation forgets it, doesn't easily come back. The 18-speed didn't die because it failed. It died because it was replaced by something faster, cheaper, and more consistent, which is how most great things in the working world eventually go. If you're an old-school driver who learned on a stick, know that your skills meant something, and still do in the vocations where they're needed. And if you're a new driver who's never touched a clutch, well, somewhere in a logging town in Oregon or a muddy oil field in West Texas, there's still a Roadranger doing what it always did. 18 gears, 4 reverse, and a driver who knows exactly which one to use. If this video hit different, drop a comment below. Were you a manual driver? Do you miss the stick? Let me know. Subscribe if you want more deep dives into the business and culture of American trucking. I'll see you in the next one.